Calaroga Shark Media. Hello and welcome to Romance Weekly. This episode is titled Crunch Time, a Serial Love Story.
Maggie and Derek first crossed paths in the breakfast aisle of their local grocery store, each reaching for their preferred brand of Raisin Bran. Maggie, a Kellogg's aficionado, believed in the superior crispiness of their flakes, while Derek, a Post enthusiast, swore by the juiciness of their raisins. Their initial banter over which brand reigned supreme sparked something more, and soon they were sharing breakfasts together. Their conversations as rich and varied as the cereals they adored. But as with all great tales, conflict was on the horizon. One lazy Sunday morning, as they prepared breakfast, the great Raisin Bran debate resurfaced. Kellogg's is the original, the classic. It's like the Beatles of cereals, Maggie argued, pouring herself a bowl with the conviction of someone defending their life's philosophy. Derek, scooping a generous serving of Post into his bowl, countered, "But Post has more raisins. It's like getting a bonus in every bite. Who doesn't love more raisins? It's the Rolling Stones, undeniably better." The debate, once playful, spiraled into a silly yet heated argument, with each defending their brand with the fervor of a breakfast cereal crusader. "It's not just about the raisins, Derek. It's about the integrity of the flake, the texture, the taste. It's a symphony in a bowl," Maggie exclaimed, her spoon brandished like a conductor's baton. "And you're telling me you can't appreciate the harmony of flavors in Post? The perfect balance between sweetness and crunch?" Derek retorted, his gestures animated, a man passionately in defense of his breakfast choice. The argument reached its peak, neither willing to concede, their shared love for Raisin Bran, now the wedge driving them apart. In a huff of frustration and flying cereal flakes, they decided to part ways, the great Raisin Bran divide seemingly insurmountable. After the breakup with Derek, Maggie found herself navigating the dating scene once again, a journey that led her to Brad. Brad was everything Derek wasn't. A fitness enthusiast with a penchant for protein shakes and a bro-dude attitude that he wore as proudly as his branded workout gear. On their third date, Brad revealed his own breakfast preference, which, to Maggie's surprise, was a third brand of Raisin Bran, Raisin Bran Crunch. Over breakfast at Maggie's place, Brad scrutinized her cereal selection with a mix of curiosity and disdain. "You know, babe, this Kellogg's stuff is child's play. You gotta try Raisin Bran Crunch. It's got clusters, babe, clusters. It's like the cereal for adults who know what's up," he said, flexing his muscles as if the mere mention of his preferred cereal added to his physical prowess. Maggie, spoon halfway to her mouth, paused, a skeptical look crossing her face. "Clusters, huh? And that makes it superior. How exactly?" Brad, missing the hint of sarcasm in her voice, leaned in, eager to share his bro wisdom. "Absolutely, babe. It's all about the texture. Plus, it's got double the protein when you mix it with Greek yogurt. It's like you're not just eating breakfast, you're fueling the machine," he said, tapping his chest with a grin. Maggie chuckled, trying to imagine Derek in a similar conversation. The thought seemed so alien, so far removed from their playful banter over cereal brands. "I see. And here I was thinking breakfast was just the first meal of the day, not a workout supplement." Brad laughed, a bit too loudly, as if everything was a private joke only he understood. "That's the spirit, babe. Gotta optimize every meal. But seriously, once you go crunch, you never go back. I'll bring you some next time. You'll ditch this kiddie stuff in a heartbeat." As Brad continued to extol the virtues of his preferred cereal, complete with a breakdown of its nutritional content versus other brands, Maggie found herself missing the simplicity of her debates with Derek. There was something about Brad's approach that turned even the choice of breakfast cereal into a competition, a challenge to be the best, rather than a shared moment of enjoyment. The date ended with Brad promising to convert her to Raisin Bran Crunch, leaving Maggie to ponder the unexpected direction her love life had taken. Days turned into weeks, and the absence of the morning debates and shared breakfasts with Derek left a void. Maggie missed the way Derek would furrow his brow in mock seriousness over cereal trivia, and Derek longed for Maggie's laughter, even if it was directed at his steadfast loyalty to Post. Realizing that their split was more about pride than preference, Derek devised a plan to win Maggie back. He invited her to the town's annual breakfast bonanza, a celebration of all things cereal, knowing it was an event she wouldn't miss. There, amidst the colorful booths and cereal-themed festivities, Derek found Maggie, her eyes lighting up at the sight of him. "Derek, what are you doing here?" Maggie asked, surprised yet visibly pleased. "I came to make peace, and to prove that I can be flexible, even when it comes to breakfast," Derek said, leading her to a booth that was unmistakably neutral territory. Oat bran. With a peace offering of 2 bowls and a truce declared over a neutral cereal, they found themselves laughing over their absurd argument, the silliness of their breakup dawning on them. "You know, I've missed this, us. Arguing over cereal is kind of our thing," Maggie admitted. Her spoon paused mid-air. Maggie and Derek decided to celebrate their newfound compromise with a breakfast date at their favorite local diner. As they sat down reminiscing over their silly cereal squabbles, the door swung open and in walked Brad, his arm around a new girl. Her enthusiasm matching his as they approached the cereal bar. Brad, ever the evangelist for Raisin Bran Crunch, didn't notice Maggie and Derek as he launched into his now familiar spiel. "Once you go crunch, you never go back," he declared with a wink, pouring a mountain of his favored cereal into 2 bowls. Maggie and Derek exchanged a look, a mix of amusement and disbelief painting their faces. Derek leaned in, whispering with a chuckle, "Get a load of that guy. I feel bad for that woman. Imagine dating a loser like that." Just as Brad was about to take a triumphant bite of his cereal, a mischievous cat, a diner regular known for its antics, darted past his feet. Startled, Brad flung his spoon into the air, sending a shower of Raisin Bran Crunch raining down on him and his date, while the cat made a victorious escape with a packet of sugar in its mouth. The diner erupted into laughter, with Maggie and Derek unable to contain their amusement at the slapstick spectacle before them. Brad, covered in cereal, could only offer a sheepish grin, while his date tried to brush off the flakes with a good-natured laugh, clearly more annoyed than amused.
Romance Weekly is a Calaroga Shark Media production, written and hosted by AI McIntyre, produced by Mark Francis. Executive producers Mark Francis and John McDermott.
Calaroga Shark Media.